You know, I'm particularly interested in your theory on anger in animals being induced biochemically.
It's dead.
I'm afraid that new janitor is suspicious.
He's not going to interfere any. Put that gorilla into a coma. Almost half a bottle's going to do wonders for him.
Oh, my God, Carl.
For God's sake! Don't do it!
That about does it, David. Let's get out of here. Aren't too many creatures more unpredictable than a pregnant elephant?
Well, I really do appreciate your taking the time to show me the ropes.
Well, after all, if you're going to be working around my animals, I want to make sure you're going to treat them right. You ready for your next lesson?
Sure.
Well, that's good, because we're on our way to cleaning the reptile house.
Oh.
Well, now, life would be very dull if all God's creatures were warm and furry. You civilians are all alike.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I just go clean up the research lab, and I'll let you live with the lizards.
Why the research lab?
Well, I understand the doctor there is rather attractive.
Dr. Baxter? Don't get your hopes up, unless you're going disguised as an ape.
What?
Well, she'd sooner spend her time with her microscope and lab animals than anything else.
Really devoted, huh?
She's devoted to her weirdo research. If she had spent less time studying animal aggression and more time doctoring, maybe that lion cub and orangutan wouldn't have died last month.
But I'd like to meet her anyway.
Well, suit yourself. Sometimes in the afternoon, she takes walks down by the children's zoo. But remember, a man's known by the company he keeps.
I guess that's why you hang out with the tigers. They certainly seem to like you. Probably because they know that you like them. I saw your picture in Anthropology Monthly.
Yes.
It was quite an article. It certainly pointed out how controversial your work is.
Unfortunately.
I'm really fascinated by the research you're doing. As a matter of fact, that's why I came to the zoo.
You on a fellowship?
No, I work for a job just to keep her.
You're interested in my work?
Well, I'm particularly interested in the studies you've been doing on aggression in animals and how to control their anger. I probably should explain. I had a little pre-med at Berkeley and a couple of years of animal husbandry. My wife was a research scientist.
Was?
Yes, she died last year. The article I read was 3 months old. I was sort of curious to how you're progressing.
Well, if you're that interested, why don't you just stop by the lab later on and I'll try to bring you up to date. I've got some charts and papers that explain it in basic terms.
Could your lab use cleaning right now?
You are curious, Mr.
Bradburn, David Bradburn.
Okay, come on. Stepping in something is an occupational hazard around here. Welcome to the zoo.
Dr. Baxter, the Stanford Foundation called again. I think it's about how you're spending their grant money.
Oh, maybe you better get Dr. Malone to handle that. He's better with those people than I am.
Right.
And if Dr. Malone should call, would you tell him I'm in the back lab with Elliot and Mr.
Bradburn, David Bradburn.
Sorry, of course. My lab's in here. You looking for me, Carl?
Just leaving you a reminder. We still haven't had that candlelight dinner.
No, we haven't.
How about tonight?
No, I can't tonight.
Okay. Don't forget, I can be a big help in getting that grant money for you.
That's charming.
Yes. I'm not very good at social games. I'll get those charts you wanted to see.
Doctor.
Elliot, come on now. You know you're not supposed to be out here. What is it? What do you want? Want a snack? You want to throw me one of those apples over there?
Sure.
I don't really think he's hungry. He does this mostly for attention. Don't you, Elliot? All right, I'm up. Woo! There you go. Okay, go back in, behave yourself. No more of this. He's not dangerous. He's got the strength to pull out both your arms if he wanted to, but he's got the temperament of a pussycat.
That's very comforting.
Actually, I think he's a little jealous of our latest arrival.
Huh? Oh, well, now that is more, my size.
He just arrived this morning from South Africa. I love all the primates, but these are kind of special.
You better not let Elliot hear you say that. You know, I'm particularly interested in your theory on anger in animals being induced biochemically rather than psychologically. Now, have you had much success with duplicating an amino acid combination in the DNA that you feel is responsible for violent behavior in specific animals?
You seem to have a fairly thorough knowledge of this subject. Well, if that's the area you're interested in, I suggest you read this. The collected articles of Dr. David Banner. You familiar with his work?
Yes, I am.
Well, then you know that he can be terribly long-winded.
Yes, can.
But some of his theories are brilliant. And I've been trying to carry on his work since his death.
But he must have known the adenine-thiamine combination in the DNA had a direct effect on strength and aggression.
Yeah, he suspected it. But his last published papers had no proof. No positive proof, anyway. If he knew anything, that knowledge died with him in the fire. Just sorry that I never had a chance to meet him.
Is Elliot part of the experiment?
Right. Elliot thrives in captivity. He's adapted and he functions very well. But Elliot had a brother who had a violent temper and couldn't be tamed at all. Now, these two were raised under identical psychological conditions. So I had to find the difference between the two.
Did you?
Yes. I discovered that his brother had something missing in his transfer RNA.
Yes, uricinonucleotides.
Exactly. How would you know that?
Well, I told you I know Dr. Banner's work very well.
Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, I isolated the amino acid that had caused the malfunction. And if I can duplicate that, then I might be able to find an antidote.
Yeah, something like a tranquilizer.
Exactly. A chemical that can finally control anger and violence in animals.
And humans. Have you developed AGD compounds?
Yeah, I've got the latest one right here.